not, the most commonly asked question that I get from you guys is, Jordan, how do your cams chop like that on a Cobra? It sounds like, a lot of people think it sounds like an LS chop. And I've made a lot of jokes about, oh, my car is like the LS chop killer. I say that a lot on like TikTok and Instagram to like rile people up so that they go and, you know, spread the video. That's pretty much on TikTok and Instagram how you get people to view your video and spread it. You just say something that's kind of like, oh, my Ford is better than Chevy's, and people are just like, ugh! Some of them get really happy, and just everyone gets emotional, and they spread around your content, and they just argue about it, and they go to war like it's a political debate, but it's just Chevy, Ford. Anyways, I digress. I get asked all the time, how do your cams sound like that? What kind of cams does that thing have, man? What do you have? You got custom Kurgan cams? What kind of cams you got in that Cobra, man? They just chop so hard. They chop harder than my daddy's LS. And I'm like, bro, it's not even just about the cams, okay? It is about the cams, but it's about like the whole package. By the way, I'm not making this per se for all of you guys that already know all these things about cams and my exhaust. You guys obviously already know this. I want to make this video for those people that are searching on YouTube. You know, you that just clicked this, you haven't seen my channel before, and you're like, hey, I really like the way his car sounds. I like the way the cam sounds. I like the way it chops. It just sounds really cool. How can I make my car sound exactly like that? And a lot of people think that it's just get stage 3 comp cams or just get Kurgan cams. But what it really comes down to is your cams, your muffler, so whatever actual cat back or axle back you have, your pipe, X pipe, H pipe, and your headers. You need to have long tube headers. All of that. Like if you have a really big cam, but then you have like stock headers and Flowmasters and stock cats, it's still really humid in North Carolina. If you live in North Carolina or South Carolina, you understand the humidity problem we have. It doesn't just get hot, it gets humid. So like people in North Carolina, we don't really say it's getting hot, we say, yeah, it's getting humid. It's getting wet. It just sounds so good.
Moist.
Sometimes I'll just start my car and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. This is why I got cams. By the way, guys, this is going to be a really short video. I just wanted to make you guys a video. I'm trying to make at least one video a week. I want to get to making 2 videos a week, but it's just, it's difficult with my crazy film schedule. So you've got a lot of LS guys that are just like, LS chop or no chop. They're like, you gotta have the LS chop. Nothing chops like an LS. And, you know, I'm under the impression that any V8 with a cam, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, small block, big block, if you put the right cam and the right exhaust on it, it can sound good. Like, obviously I'm biased. I think that Cobras sound amazing. That's my favorite car sound, but whether it's an LS engine or a Dodge Hellcat or a 4-valve Cobra motor, you can make it sound good with the right cam, the right exhaust, and the right headers. But it's like all of those things. If you have an LS, right, and your LS just has like stock cats and like Flowmasters and stock headers, and you put a big cam in it, it's gonna sound cool. But it's not going to sound as good as a Cobra with long tube headers, no cats, Borla attacks, off-road X, and a big cam as well. The point is, you can make any Cobra sound like mine. It doesn't even have to have a stage 3 comp cam. You could have a stage 2 comp cam and probably still chop pretty hard with Borla attacks, Cook's headers, and an off-road X pipe. Or if you want to do like Borla attacks, Mac headers. Personally, I don't think that LS's chop any better than 4-valve Cobras, or that either of those can chop any better than a Hellcat. I think that, like I said, anything with a big cam and an open exhaust and long tube headers can sound really sick, can sound really good and rowdy. But, here's the but. You have to be willing to have some sort of open, raspy exhaust. I have Borla attacks. They get a little raspy up top. I have Cook's long tube headers. But that's the sacrifice you must be willing to make in order to have a really loud, poppy, choppy idle with your cam. Because if you have a big cam, but you have something like Bassani exhaust and high flow cats, it's just not, like, your Cobras, especially if you have a Cobra, it's just not going to chop that hard. Like, you'll hear a little bit of a chop, but especially like on camera, you're barely even going to know the car's cammed. And it's not because Cobras can't chop, it's just because most guys on the internet have like big cams, but they have exhausts that don't really show off those big cams in their Cobras. I just wanted to say that because like a lot of people watch videos of Cobras on the internet, like they just don't chop. No, it's not that they don't chop. It's the people are not putting Borla attacks and loud exhaust with long tube headers and open X pipes on them with the cams. They're putting like more restrictive exhaust with the cams, which is fine if you don't like any rasp when you're driving, but I don't mind it. I really like the chop. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. And I just wanted to say really quickly, I'm not knocking anyone that has a quieter exhaust on their 304 Cobra. A lot of people care much more about the whine than they do about a cam chop or about a exhaust note or anything else. Personally, I wanted the chop. I wanted the really loud chop. I don't mind some rasp up top as long as my wide open throttle just is insane. That's just me personally. I've had my Borla attacks now since I got the car. I've had my Borla attacks for almost 10 years, and it gets a bit much. Sometimes it's kind of raspy, and I was considering maybe changing them one day, just out of boredom, but then I put the cams on the Cobra and I was like, wow. So the point of the video is just to say that you can make anything sound good. If you put money into it, you have an open exhaust and you have a big cam. Also, if you bump your compression and, help your heads feel a little better, stuff like that. But the point is, you don't have to have an LS to have a nice cam chop. They do sound amazing, don't get me wrong. But you could have a Charger, you could have a Mustang, you could have a Camaro, Corvette, whatever. Just put the right exhaust on it, put a nice cam in it, it will sound good. Much love, guys. See you guys next video. Comment if you have any questions.
Look, I'm in line with the stars. I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf.